think I'm a hero? I'm not a hero. I'm an everlasting vampire. Hello and welcome to my review of Jack Reacher, starring Tom Cruise, the everlasting vampire. If you don't get that joke, then you obviously haven't seen an interview with a vampire, so... Moving on, let me get into the acting. The acting in this film from only one person is good, and that is Tom Cruise. Because Tom Cruise, though being a vampire who just won't die, is a top-notch actor, let me tell you that much. But everyone else felt very just bad. They just didn't feel like they connected with the caliber of acting Tom Cruise was giving. And I mean, it felt like, imagine Daniel Day-Lewis going to like a high school play. It's like that. But yeah, Tom Cruise gives a great performance as always. However, the supporting cast is not good, especially the main female lead, whose name I can't remember. She is absolutely horrid. She feels like a soap opera actress. Well, let me move on to the directing. The directing in this film is good. You can obviously tell it sets its tone very well, but it sets a very bad tone. So it's kind of half and half, you see. It's odd, because it knows how to set its tone and make you feel the tone, but that's not a tone I liked. I didn't like how it went too dark. It could have gone dark, but I feel it went too dark and brutal. I felt it should have been a little bit lighter, considering this is an action movie coming out in December. It didn't have to be the darkest and brutalist thing ever. Okay, if the director's watching this, remember that for your next film. And now let me get into the writing, where a film can really make or break it, except in an action movie, because let me get into the action scenes right before that. The action scenes in this movie were top-notch, even though there was a lack there of action scenes. I'll get to that later. However, the action scenes in this film are superb and brutal, and that's the only time I feel the brutal and dark comes in as good. And it's just awesome. And some of the stuff they can do in this movie, snapping necks and all that, it's brutal for a PG-13 film. And now let me move on to the writing. The writing in this film is okay. I liked some aspects, I didn't like others. I liked the character of Jack Reacher because of how he was and how he could kind of like tell what was going on. He was sort of like Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, like Sherlock Holmes. I wanted to make sure that it felt right. He's like Sherlock Holmes. If Sherlock Holmes did a lot more fighting. But anyway, I liked the character of Jack Reacher. I liked how it was more of a murder mystery than action. However, I wish they would have had more action to keep my attention. Unfortunately, this film does suffer from some poor pacing at times, making itself seem very boring and repetitive as they just keep talking. And though I'm not against dialogue in a film. I just expected more considering how this film was marketed. I honestly feel it's more poor marketing than a poor movie, which is why, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give Jack Reacher a B-. I really wanted to give it a higher grade. I just couldn't really get into the story. I just never could. I don't know. Maybe if you read the books, you probably could have more. You probably knew what to expect. And if you have read the books, tell me what you thought of the film. Please, and as always, please like, favorite, and subscribe for more reviews.